About an hour into a flight from Hawaii to Baltimore with a layover in LA, an announcement came over the speaker. Are there any physicians on board? No one answered. Then came a more panicked call for help. Is there any medical professional?
And so I stood up, and this flight attendant comes like racing over.
Emily Haley, a physician assistant at MedStar Franklin Square Medical Center, was rushed to the front of the plane to care for another passenger.
She had been obviously vomiting, and she was diaphoretic, like she was covered in sweat.
Emily asked the crew for an EKG, but they didn't have one. She tried using a pulse oximeter, but the device didn't work.
We got her Apple Watch, actually. So we got her watch, attached it to her wrist, and it just said that her heart rate was like over 160.
A normal read would have been 100. They had another 3.5 hours before they could land.
We were in the middle of the Pacific. It was worst case scenario.
I was coming back from my honeymoon in Hawaii, and here's my brand new husband watching me, possibly die in front of him.
But here's the thing. The sick passenger, Jacqueline Lacera, is a doctor, so they were able to talk through the crisis together.
How are you?
Good. It's good to see you from this
angle. I know, you too.
They've kept in contact, but this is their first time seeing each other since.
Emily really took total control of the situation. She knew exactly what to do.
It was so wonderful to have a physician there to like brainstorm with.
Emily got an IV going, started some fluids, but then things started to decline again.
It was like a 10 out of 10 chest pain.
An AED is typically used when somebody loses a pulse, but I knew this was sort of headed in this direction. I looked at Jacqueline and I said, I think I have to shock you. I don't have another option.
In a hospital setting, the patient would usually be sedated.
I didn't have anything, and she goes, you wouldn't believe how much that hurt. And I actually felt like this relief because she was alive and she was talking, and she, the fact that she was screaming was actually a great sign.
They landed in LA and Jacqueline was rushed to the hospital. But the medical emergency got them both thinking that there's not enough resources on board flights.
The average American doesn't think they're going to die from lack of help on the plane. Flight attendants aren't allowed to, administer any of the medications. So even if they're there, if there's no one to administer medications, if you need it, the medications are useless. The equipment is super important. The training of the personnel is super important.